all of a sudden I start to hear these screams, and these screams were coming out of nowhere. I was like, oh my goodness, is Patricia and Mike okay? I thought that maybe they were being attacked by somebody on the street, and my first impulse was to grab my shoes and run.
We heard Oli heard some yelling, and she came rushing down the stairs and asked if we had heard anything. We told her no. She thought we were getting attacked, and then we heard screams actually after she had said that, so we went outside, and we look over to the next building, and we see it set in, like, flames.
I didn't know what to do other than get the van and pull the van up. But in the meantime, these kids were still screaming. The parents were screaming, get my kids, hurry and get the kids.
More than 20 people are in the hospital tonight after a massive apartment building fire in Cambridge.
The fire got to be so intense on Gray Street that some residents had to jump.
There's people sitting on the roof, and somebody had a baby, and out of the desperation, he wanted to throw the baby because he didn't know how he was going to save him. So we just started yelling and telling him not to do it.
So, the people were dangling the baby, trying to drop the baby for Mike to catch the baby, and Mike is like, yo, don't drop the baby. Oli, go tell Billy to give you the van key and bring the van. So I ran back up here, and I said, Billy, the place is on fire. Billy, the place is on fire. And Billy grabs the van key, and he runs. He grabs the van and drops the van right under the window where the people are dangling the kids and stuff.
As soon as Billy comes down, I said, Billy, pull the van up. Pull the van up. We need to get these kids. We need to save these people. And Billy pulls the van up right in front of the building. I tried to climb up on the van a couple of times. Billy gave me a lift up on the van, and right away we began grabbing the kids and lowering them down to some of my other teammates.
Dangling the kids and stuff. And so Mike jumps on top of the van, and he says, okay, now you can throw the baby. And they strategically positioned the baby in a way because there was still quite a bit of space.
Surreal to see something like that going down. You know, it's only things that you probably see in movies, but when it's going down in front of you, it's different.
People jumping from windows, flames and smoke pouring out of the side of this building, reaching up into the night sky.
The screams were so loud, so I ran. My first instinct was run.
This is video taken at the scene of the apartment fire at 507 Race Street just minutes after it started around 10 Sunday night. A film crew shooting a faith-based video at the church next door to the apartment building were first on the scene and captured this video after helping families escape before emergency crews arrived.
I was like, Billy, there's a fire. So he goes, he grabs the van key, runs downstairs, gets the van, drives it right under to where the window was, where the people were, and then they started taking the children and dangling the children.
So many of them were trapped in there. The fire was actually in the exit to the front of the building. That stopped them from coming out that way.
We're told everyone managed to get out with their lives. Fire crews from all over the surrounding area helped to subdue the fire, but not before part of the building collapsed, forcing firefighters out.
Watch out!
Investigators are still trying to figure out what ignited the flames, and no word yet on the extent of damages or how many folks were displaced.
Well, the front of the facade of this 100-year-old brick building is still standing, but the interior is completely gutted. It was well occupied last night, and those who were trapped because the fire was in the only exit had to make a life or death decision to survive. It was a frantic scene. 21 people had to jump from second and third story windows just to stay alive.
Didn't feel that we did enough because people were still lying out on the ground in pain, and it was just chaos out there.
You open the door and there's smoke and you physically can't breathe, you have no options.
Ryan Phillips went out his third floor window and found safety on the roof of an adjoining structure.
It was it was horrific for one, because I felt helpless at the beginning. I mean, I couldn't even think of what we could do. It was on fire. They were so up high. Like, what do you do?
People jumping off of the building, and it sounded like a slab of meat because people were falling from so far.
Her team actually drove a van onto the sidewalk in front of the building to rescue children being tossed from a second-floor window. It wasn't until firefighters took over that her group took this video. Even the veteran Cambridge fire chief says he's never seen such a horror.
I want to send a call out to everyone who can hear this. Help us to help these people and others like them. This is what It Has Begun, the movement, is all about. Whatever the problem, whatever the situation, we identify the need and we act. Today, it's a victim of a fire. Tomorrow, it's a starving child or victims of injustice, disasters, or something as simple as a helping hand.
We saved her life, man. We saved her life.
It Has Begun, the movement consists of anyone and everyone who cares enough to get involved. We either talk about it or we be about it. We either complain or we roll up our sleeves and we fix it, whatever it is. We either hide from it or we face it, whatever you choose. For us, it has begun. No gimmicks, no games. But we need your help. Whether it's through your finances, volunteering, your time, your knowledge, whatever you can give. It's time to go to work and make our neighborhoods, our communities, and our country a better place to live. Make no mistake, the world has never seen a movement like this.
I have a 7-year-old, she was 7, 8. I have a newborn, well, he's not really a newborn, he's 6 months. And he was 12 to 18 months. And basically just toys and stuff because they lost all of that. What do you need? New clothes, maybe even furniture for house. We're looking for housing, so maybe even furniture, beds, stuff like that.
I'm Billy Bad, founder and CEO of It Has Begun, the movement.